Okay, so good evening, everybody. Today is the day 2 of our program. Yesterday, we talked about demand and supply zone, different methodologies, how to identify demand and supply zone. And second important thing, how to qualify a demand zone to be a powerful demand zone. Right, guys? So you have asked me a lot many questions today. So today also we are going to talk about very quickly before I start, have a kind of a recap. Okay. So we talked about demand and supply zone. We talked about candles. Okay. Now this is a very interesting. Again, I think it will take some time. Now again, I'm going to cover that part. Okay. So this is what is a supply zone, what we call rally-based drop, right? That is what is a method for supply zone or supply area. So when the price goes up to the supply zone, you sell. So when you sell in the supply zone, what you do? You put the stop loss above here you put the stop loss. Okay. Now, there are 3 entries that we have discussed. One is number 1 entry. So number 1 entry is when the price come and touches the zone. Okay. Now, second is a number 2 entry, which is inside the zone. And third entry is when the price leaves the zone, right? That is called number 3 entry. Okay. So there are 3 entries that we have discussed. Now, this is a demand zone. Demand zone, what is a formula for demand zone? Drop, base, and rally. So when we see a drop, base, and rally, we mark the base area and we call it the demand zone. And once we mark the demand zone, we wait for the price to come to the demand zone. And when the price comes to the demand zone, we buy. So when you buy in the demand zone, now we put the stop loss below the demand zone, right? Now, as we said, there is no 100% guarantee in the market. So now, when we say we buy in the demand zone, it does not mean that it guarantees that the price is going to go up from here. Only the probability is very high that the price is going to go up from here, right? So please understand to differentiate between the probability and absolute surety or guarantee. So here we are talking about probability, right? So now again, this is which entry when you buy here. Can you guys go ahead and type in the chat box which number of entry is going to be if you buy here? Can you guys go ahead and type in the chat box? We want more interaction to happen. Okay, double bottom. Noshad. Okay, Noshad says number 1. What about others? Come on, go ahead, type. Now, when you buy it here, it is not the number 1 entry. It is a number 2. Achha, you didn't get the question, Bhimrao. So, you saw the picture, right? You saw the structure. So, price is inside the demand zone. So, when you buy here inside the demand zone, we talked about 3 entries. Number 1, number 2, and number 3 entry. Okay, what is the number 1 entry? Touch. When the price come and touch the demand zone. Number 2 entry is inside the demand zone. Okay. And what is the number 3 demand zone? Number 3 entry when the price is leaving the demand zone. And this is also called confirmation entry. So now you guys tell me which entry is this? When you buy here, right in this candle, at the bottom of this candle, which entry is this? Vimrao, number 3. Sachin, number 2. Second. Absolutely, right? It is a number 2 entry. So what is number 3 entry is going to be when the price is going to be next day. Suppose price started, this is a long green candle is formed here. Okay, green candle. It's not a red candle, huh? Green candle. And then you see and you buy here. Matlab, it is confirmed that the price is going to respect the zone and now price is going up. So that is the time when you are going to enter into a trade. Okay, you got it now? Fantastic. So now how to identify we discuss about. So look back, we look at the chart and we discussed it, right? This is what we have discussed. So we have discussed yesterday about the practical example of HDFC Bank, right? It is coming exactly like that. I'm not saying that this one is, the structure was somewhat like that. very close to the supply zone. It was at the supply zone, but overhead there is another supply zone. Yes or no? Do you remember, guys, that example that we have shown? So this is what. So how to identify a zone? Wherever the price is, you start looking back. When you start looking back above the price, you get the supply zone. When you start looking back below the price, you get the demand zone. Okay. So this is what the demand zone is. Okay. We discussed about that. This is where the demand zone is. This is where the supply zone is. Okay. We have discussed about. So now strength, explosive. This is what we talked about, strength of the zone. How explosive is the move from here? Can you see that? Do you see this is an explosive move? Yes or no, guys? Is it an explosive move? Yes, yes. So it means this demand zone is very powerful. Very powerful. है कि नहीं? क्योंकि the price has moved like an explosion, right? Like a rocket. Okay, that is the number one condition. Number two condition, how many times the prices come inside the zone? So here is the origin of the zone. The prices come once, that is a base trade. And second time, boom, it broke the zone, right? So when the price comes to the zone for the first time, it is freshness. Matlab, it is coming for the first time. Fresh. The zone is absolutely fresh. Okay, unused. So here it comes second time. Second time, a probability is low. It might break also. The probability of breaking is also high, not fresh. Now, another factor is that how much time it has spent on the zone, right? Has it spent to, usually base candle में कितना candle होना चाहिए? Ideally, there should be 1 to 3 candles in the base. जो हम लोग ने drop, base and rally, right? So इस base में कितना candle होना चाहिए? Max to max 3 candle, not more than 3 candle. Okay, now look here. This is a rally, this is a base, and this is a drop. But here there are lot many candles, right? So this is not a good base. This is not a good supply zone, right? Because there are too many candles are there. Okay, now second is profit zone. How far? Now see, the price has no doubt moved very sharply from the zone, but it has not moved much, right? But if you compare, look, this is very good zone because the price has moved pretty high from here, pretty far from the origin of the zone. But in this case, the price has not moved far. So will not usually. Okay. Now, another very important question. Are there? Okay. What does it mean? What does it mean? More candle. Okay. More candle matlab. Okay. Now, can you see this candle here? Vimrao, can you see this is the base, right? This is a drop. This is a drop. This is a base. Okay. And this is a rally. Hai ki nahi? How many candles are there in the base? One candle only, right? This is a base scenario. Now, many times what happens, price comes down, then 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle, 4 candle, 5 candle, and then price goes up, right? So this is what, if the price spends too much of a time here in the base, then we'll not consider it a zone. So there should be 1 to 3 candle base. I hope this point is clear now. Can you give me a quick check in the chat box? Okay. So now, okay. So now understand one thing. It is again very important. Okay. Very important because again, price action may, how? Now we all know. Now this is a hammer. Now just think about it. Now think about it. इस दिन प्राइस एक्शन क्या हुआ था? ये जो कैंडल है ना, ये कैंडल आपको बहुत बढ़िया से समझाएगा. नाउ इस दिन प्राइस एक्शन में क्या हुआ था? प्राइस यहां पे खुला था. दिस इज वेयर द प्राइस ओपन. यस और नो? प्राइस यहां पे ओपन हुआ था. ओके, प्राइस यहां पे ओपन हुआ था. नाउ ओपन होने का बाद प्राइस सीधा नीचे गया. कैन यू सी दैट? प्राइस हैज कम डाउन. प्राइस सीधा नीचे गया. सीधा नीचे गया, एकदम यहां तक आया, बहुत नीचे गया. ओके, एंड यहां पे क्या बनाया? लो बनाया. मतलब सप्लाई थ्रू आउट, मतलब मेजर पार्ट ऑफ द डे इन द फर्स्ट हाफ देयर वाज अ मैसिव सप्लाई. यस और नो? But maybe towards the end or in the second half, there is a massive demand emerged. Can you see that? gigantic demand emerged for the stock. Buying happened. And that pushed the price all the way up to this point. This is where it closed. And this is also what is the high. So ultimately, no doubt, during the first half of the day, the supply was dominating. Okay, but towards the end or in the second half, who dominated? Who become heavy? Who become more powerful? It is the demand. Yes or no? And finally, the bulls, the buyers, the demand, they took the price up and close it here. Do you all agree with me, guys? This logic makes sense? Yes or no? Okay, cool, right? Now, ये जो pattern है, this pattern is, we call it a hammer. Now, remember, this is a reversal pattern. Okay, this is a reversal pattern. So when it is a reversal pattern, when the pattern is formed after a downtrend, now see, price is coming down, price is coming down, price is coming down. What is the trend? The trend is drop or down, right? Now, suddenly this pattern emerged after a prolonged downtrend. Correct? Now, from there, the price has become reversed. Okay, now you got it. Now, हम लोग ने कल एक बहुत important point discuss किया था, if you remember. When you look at a chart, there are 4 important points. One is called color. Color. Second is called size. Third is called shape. And fourth is called, can you go and write the 4th point, guys, in the chat box? Come on, all of you, go to the chat box and write. What is the 4th point? What is the 4th point? Can you write it down? Ganesh. Come on. Not tail, not weak. You don't seem to remember. Come on, come on. I'm just checking how many of you remember. Absolutely, Rinku. Come on. Very good. Fantastic. Bhimrao, fantastic. Right? Position. Sachin, it's a location. It is a location. है ना? So, ये color, size and shape सबका importance कहाँ पे है? In the right location. है कि नहीं? So, what is the location? So, what is the location? The location is the demand zone. Okay? Location is the demand zone. So now market is coming down, market is coming down, market is coming down. मान लीजिए ये एक डिमांड जोन है, इसका ओरिजिन यहां पे कहीं पे है और प्राइस यहां पे आ गया है, टच द डिमांड जोन एंड फॉर्म दिस कैंडल. So this is a reversal confirmation. Okay? It is now showing that yes, the buyers are finally emerging. Now कहीं पे भी आपको इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग बाइंग नहीं दिखा. जैसे डिमांड जोन पहुंच गया, डिमांड जोन का अंदर जैसे प्राइस घुस गया, आपने क्या देखा? You have seen huge buying emerged, and because of which this candle was formed. So the moment you see this candle in the demand zone, your probability goes up many times that this demand zone is going to be respected. Now the trend which was down before, now probability is very high that it is going to be reversed. Is the point clear to you guys? Can you give me a quick check? So I keep on asking only quick check, quick check, quick check, so that, okay, very good, right? This is clear. So this is what we call reversal. Now, again, okay, same is the case. This is exactly opposite the case. You see, inverted hammer. So price was in an uptrend, price was going up, price was going up, price was going up, right? And then you saw this particular candle. Can you see that? Now, what does it mean? Again, what is the science of this candle? Now, what is the science of this candle? Let's try to understand what is the science of this candle. Okay. Now, this candle is like this. This candle is like this. Let me try to draw this candle. This candle is like this. Okay. This candle is like this, right? So what happened actually in this candle? Now here, this is open, this is open. इसका मतलब the moment price opened, price went up, right? Price went up. And then it went and touched the high here. Okay, high here. But in the second half or afterwards, selling emerged, supply emerged, very strong supply came in, and they pushed the price down. And they pushed the price so down that it closed below the open, right? And that is why you see this candle. Okay, so it means that this is the moment you see this candle, it means the supply is coming. And this candle has got more significance only where? In the supply zone. When there is already a supply zone and you see this candle being formed, it means the probability is very high that the price is going to reverse from here. Cool, right? So this is how we need to interpret it. Make sense? Okay, there are so many other patterns are also there. So what am I going to do is that I'm going to talk about indicators. Okay, another very important thing. Two very important thing. I'm going to talk about trend. Okay, so very important thing. One is what we call the trend, and third is another very important thing that we all need to know, gaps. So how many of you see gaps all the time in the market? We keep on seeing gaps, right? Now, there is a gap dynamics as well. So gaps are very powerful. The gaps are very powerful. Okay. So you need to know how to trade in gaps. Okay. Gaps. So let me cover very quickly how the gaps are. But again, let's talk about the trend first. This is what we know. Okay. ये बहुत पुराना slide है, थोड़ा ये हो गया. So you know that this is a general direction. This is an uptrend. So when we talk about the uptrend, the general direction of the trend is up. Okay, that is what we call uptrend basically. Very simple. So what is a downtrend? The basic direction of the price is down. Now, what is a scientific definition? What is a technical definition of a uptrend? Okay. Now, the technical definition of a uptrend is higher high and higher low. Okay, higher high and higher low is a technical definition. See, this is where it is a low. It made a high. Okay, let's say this is a high. Okay, this is a high. Then it came here, low. This again make a high. Okay, it came a low. It makes a high again, right? This is a low and it goes up. So now this high is higher than the previous high. Now this high is higher than the previous high, that is this, okay? This high is higher than the previous high. This high is higher than the previous high, okay? Correct? Now this is a low. This low is higher than the previous low, है ना? Now next low, this low is higher than the previous low. And this low is again higher than the previous low. So it means it is forming a pattern of higher high and higher low. So this is what is called uptrend. Technically, this is what is called uptrend. Okay. Now, what is a downtrend? Similarly, downtrend is lower high and lower low. Okay. Now look at it. This is again, see, this is a high. This is a high. This is a high. Okay. This is a high. Right. Now see this high, this high. So all the highs are, this high is lower than the previous high. Okay. So this high is lower than the previous high. This high is also slightly lower than the previous high. This high is also lower than the previous high, or this high is also lower than the previous high. Similarly, this is a low, this is a low, this is a low, this is a low, and this is a low. So all lows are subsequently lower than the previous low. So it is making a sequence of lower highs and lower lows. So technically, this is what is called downtrend. Okay. So when it is making lower high and lower low. Okay. Now for any trend, Now for any trend, there are two moves are there. Okay, one is called impulse and correction. Impulse and correction. In any trend, there are two moves. Okay, what are the two moves are there? One is called impulse move and one is called corrective move. Okay, now let me go to the previous slide. I'm going to show it to you. Now here, let's clear, erase everything. So there are two part of the trend. There are two part of the trend. One is what is called impulse and second is called correction. Okay, so what is the impulse move? The definition of impulse move is the move in the direction of the trend. Move in direction of the trend is called impulse move. What is a corrective move? Move against the direction of the trend. Direction of the trend. That is what is called a corrective move. Okay. Now look at here. What is a trend here? What is a trend here, guys? The trend is up. So the move in the direction of the trend, which is the move? This is the move in the direction of the trend. Yes or no? Right? This is what is called impulse move. Okay. Now the move against the direction of the trend. So direction of the trend is up. Against the direction of the trend, this is what is called corrective move. Okay. Now again, this is impulse move. This is corrective move. This is impulse move. And this is corrective move. Is it clear to you guys? Can you guys give me a quick check? So in a sense, when there is a distinct trend, what is the sequence between impulse and corrective? It is alternative. Impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. Yes or no? Now, impulse moves are bigger than the corrective moves. See, always the impulse moves are bigger than the corrective moves. They're the faster and more ferocious than the corrective moves. The corrective moves are smaller and less intense. Now see, this is a, can you guys tell me, is it a impulse move or a corrective move? Go ahead and type in the chat box. Is it an impulse move or a corrective move? Impulse move. Come on, Alok. Impulse move. Right. Now you tell me, what move is this? What move is this? Corrective move. This move is a corrective move, right? What move is this? Corrective move. Now again, this is a corrective move. This is a impulse move. This is a impulse move. So impulse moves are much bigger and aggressive. Corrective moves are small. है ना? So in a uptrend, what is your trading strategy or investing strategy in a uptrend? So uptrend में आपका strategy क्या है? You should buy at the end of the correction and at the beginning of the impulse move. Absolutely, right? Buy at low. So buy when the corrective move is getting over. Okay, buy when the corrective move is getting over or impulse move have started. Now, ideally, if you can locate a kind of a demand zone, that is the best buy. That is a one entry. Okay. Second is when it makes a new high, breaks out. This is what is called breakout and this is what is called pullback. Correct? Right. So you got it now? Now, in a downtrend, again, let's remove this. Let's remove this. Now, this is impulse correction, impulse correction, okay? Impulse correction, impulse, right? ये proper नहीं हो रहा है drawing में. Correction, impulse, and this is a corrective move, right? So this is what. Now the sequence is always when there is a trend. When there is a trend, the sequence is impulse, correction, impulse, correction. This is what we call technical. The trend is intact. हम लोग जब कहते हैं ना कि trend is intact, it means technically this sequence is being followed. Okay. Now, ये possible है क्या कि ट्रेंड में इम्पल्स 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 भी हो सकता है और करेक्शन 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 भी हो सकता है. पॉसिबल है क्या? आई एम जस्ट आस्किंग यू गाइस. राइट योर रिस्पॉन्स इन अ चैट बॉक्स. राइट, हो सकता है ना? हो सकता है ना? हो सकता है. नाउ इफ यू ऑब्जर्व दिस, it means there is no trend in the market. No trend in the market when you observe. So कब होता है ये? Now under what situation it happens? Okay, now look at this. This is here. Okay, just a sec. Okay, कब होता है? Now when there is no sequence of impulse and correction. देखिए यहां पे इक्वल हो रहा है सब, बेसिकली सब इक्वल है. Now as we say, impulse is bigger than the corrective move, right? Okay, now let's try to draw a line. Okay, let's try. Okay, I just trying to look at something. Correction, impulse. Okay, here is a correction and impulse. This is a sequence, right? This is what the sequence. Now अभी देखो मार्केट ऊपर जा रहा है. The trend is say, अभी तक ट्रेंड क्या था? अप था. What is the trend so far? The trend was up. So this move is considered as what? Can you guys write? This move is considered as an impulse. Okay, this is an impulse move. Now, next move should be a corrective move. But next move is even bigger than the previous move. है ना? So, should it be a corrective move? It should have been smaller than the impulse move. Now, it has become bigger than the previous impulse move. So, now this has also become an impulse move. Now, we are not going to consider it as a corrective move now. This is also become an impulse move now. Correct? So now, if this is an impulse move, the next move should be corrective move. The corrective move should be smaller than this impulse move. है ना? But the next move turned out to be even bigger than the previous impulse move. So it means this has turned out to be corrective move and this has become impulse move. Right? This has become impulse move now. है ना? Okay. So if this is an impulse move, the next move should be corrective move. It should be smaller than this move, but it turned out to be even bigger than this. Right? Bigger than this. So this is also becoming impulse move. So when we say impulse, 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 so this is kind of an expanding triangle. Right? When we see there's an expanding triangle kind of a move. So there is no clear trend as such, but the market is moving in an expanding triangle. Correct? Now, similarly, opposite to that is contracting triangle. Okay. So what is that? So now, suppose this is an impulse. Okay. Now, impulse move. Okay. Okay. So let's say, okay. Now, this is a corrective move. Okay. This is a corrective move. This is an impulse move before, and this is a corrective move. Now, second should be impulse move, which should be bigger than this correction move, but it turned out to be smaller. So it means compared to this move, this has also become a corrective move. है ना? Now the third move should be, if this is a corrective move, third move should be impulse move, which should be bigger than this move, but it turned out to be smaller than the previous move. So this has also become a corrective move. है ना? Now, if this is a corrective move, next would be impulse move, which is bigger than this, but it also turned out to be smaller than the previous move. So it also turned out to be a corrective move. So it means all corrective move, corrective move, corrective move, corrective move. So it means it is creating a contracting triangle. Okay, so this is how it works. The moment you see a contracting triangle, when the price is inside the triangle, it's better to avoid trading, avoid buying, because the breakout could be in the either side. It could be in the upside or it could be on the downside. So your trade comes only after breaking out from the triangle. Sounds good, guys? Is it clear? Am I being able to explain this concept to you? Can you give me a quick check in the chat box? Let me, okay. Okay. Is it? Yes. Can you guys give me a quick check in the chat box? Is it been explained to you? Have you got the, am I successful in explaining this concept to you? Okay. ठीक है सचिन, thank you. Funny, okay. Rinku, Amit, okay. Bhimrao, okay. Good guys. Chalo, thank you. Raju says excellently. Thank you. Okay. Now we are going to talk about two concepts. Okay. Now this is where we are going to use an indicator. Ultimately, dekho, as we said again and again and again, it's all about probability. It's a game of probability. You need to increase the probability. Okay. What you have to do is that you have to increase the probability. So when the price comes to the demand zone, right? Price comes to the demand zone. Already my probability is high that the price is going to reverse. Okay. Right. But where exactly I'm going to take the trade? Should I take the trade the moment price comes to the demand zone and put the stop loss? Yes, you can do it. You can do it. Hannah, if your demand zone is very powerful, you can do it. Or you can wait for confirmation. Okay. Now, this confirmation could come in different ways. One is, as we say, hammer. Okay, here exactly you got a hammer. Price has moved out of the zone. Right? That is one confirmation. Very good. Second is what we call indicators, lower time frame. Now, I'm going to give you a time frame now. Multiple time frame. Okay. Now say, if you categorize your trading style, okay, somebody are intraday traders, some people are swing traders, some people are position traders, okay, some people are active investors. Okay, some people are active investors. So let's categorize this: intraday traders as well as scalpers. Now there are three time frame. One is a bigger time frame or LTF, larger time frame. We call it LTF. One is called intermediate time frame, ITF, and one is called trading time frame, TTF. Okay, this is LTF, larger time frame. For an intraday trader, larger time frame is 60 minutes. intermediate time frame could be 30 minutes, and trading time frame could be 5 minutes. Intraday trading or scalping, very fast traders, because being an intraday trader, you want to trade for few rupees. The moment there's a turnaround in the price, you want to get into the trade and you want to exit immediately. The moment price goes up by few rupees. Okay. So your decision is going to be based, you are going to basically trade in a 5-minute chart. Okay. But you are going to be supported by 60-minute and 30-minute chart candles. Correct? Now, if you're a swing trader, okay, or it could be positional as well. My trading time frame could be 60 minutes or say 15 minutes. Sorry, 15 minutes. I will use it 15 minutes. Swing trading, 15 minutes. Okay, I'm just 1 minute. How can I erase only this part? So my trading time frame is going to be 15 minutes. My intermediate time frame could be 60 minutes, and my larger time frame could be daily. Okay, daily is D for daily. Okay, now positional is weekly, daily, and 60 minutes. And what is an active investors? Monthly, weekly, and daily. Are you getting my point, guys? Now it's a very important thing. Okay, this table is very important thing. So if you are a swing trader, basically you are going to take your decision on the 15-minute chart. If I'm a positional trader, I want to, trade for a few days, maybe a week or so, I'm going to take my position on a 60-minute chart. But if I am a long-term investor, my larger time frame is going to be monthly, but my decision-making time frame is going to be daily. Okay, so how you're going to use it? So this is pretty clear to you, right? This is pretty clear to you. है ना? Okay, clear? Now, how do you prepare for a trade? How do you prepare for a trade? मान लो Monday, you are going to trade. What you are going to do? How you prepare? So Saturday, Sunday, or Friday evening, you are going to scan through your charts. You are going to look maybe Nifty 100 or Nifty 200, or maybe you got a list of stocks. These are the stocks that you trade, right? So you are going to scan through one by one by one by one by one by one. So when you scan, you always start from what? Higher time frame. Higher time frame से start करोगे और larger time frame से. When you start looking at the chart, आप कहाँ से शुरू करोगे? You always start from the, if you're a say positional trader, okay, or suppose if you're a swing trader, okay. So swing trader का time frame क्या क्या था? Swing trader का time frame daily, 60 minutes and 15 minutes. Let's take this as an example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start looking at a daily chart. Okay. Now I am going to identify, say there are 100 stocks are there. I am going to check every 100 stocks mein which stock is closer to demand zone and which stock is closer to the supply zone in the daily chart. Are you getting my point? Okay. So I'm going to start with a daily chart. और ये जो 100 स्टॉक्स है ना, मैं स्कैन करता हूं, यहां पे सबका डिमांड एंड सप्लाई जोन ऑलरेडी लगा हुआ है, राइट? क्योंकि एवरी डे इन द इवनिंग आई लुक एट द चार्ट. ये मेरा जस्ट मे बी हाफ एन आवर आई विल जस्ट फ्लैश थ्रू 100 स्टॉक्स, क्योंकि ये स्टॉक्स मैं हर दिन देखता हूं. तो आई नो कि वेयर इज द इमीडिएट सप्लाई जोन एंड वेयर इज द इमीडिएट डिमांड जोन. क्लियर गाइज? सो नाउ suppose the stock is somewhere here. This is a CMP, current market price. The stock is somewhere here. Okay. Or the stock is somewhere here. Or the stock is somewhere here. कहीं पे भी हो सकता है ये stock. You have just identified where is the marked, where is the immediate demand zone and where is the immediate supply zone. Yes or no? Now, ये जो जोन है ना, इसको आपने 3 हिस्से में बांटोगे. 1, 2, 3. Now, यहां पे एक टेक्निक आता है, that is called curving. So what do you mean by curving? If the price is closer to the demand zone on this quadrant, in this part, so it is called low in the curve. Correct? If the price is in this segment, we call it high in the curve. Okay? Low in the curve, high in the curve. So in order to buy, कोई भी stock, suppose closer to the demand zone, तो fantastic. In the demand zone, very nice. Closer to the demand zone or this particular low in the curve. When the stock is low in the curve, you look for buying opportunity. What? Buying opportunity. But if the price comes and touches the zone, that is excellent. But you look for buying opportunity. When stock is high in the curve, you look for selling opportunity. So if you are a swing trader, and if you are looking for buying opportunity, आप short नहीं करते हो, आप simply buy करते हो, तो आपका stock कहां पे होना पड़ेगा? Can you guys go ahead and type in the chat box where the stock should be? Location of the stock should be demand, right? Or where the stock should be, where the price should be? Low in the curve. Fantastic. है ना? So the price has to be either in the demand zone. If it is in the demand zone, fantastic. Very good. If it is extremely low in the curve, very close to the demand zone, it means you are getting ready to do a buying side swing trading the next day. This particular stock is earmarked. आप आपका चार्ट में जैसे आप देखो, आप एज ए ट्रेडर आपको स्क्रीन होगा, कंप्यूटर स्क्रीन, यहाँ पे आपने ये स्टॉक को लगा दिया. यहाँ पे आपका, यहाँ पे देखिए मैं क्या करता हूं, दीज आर द 6 स्टॉक्स दैट आई ट्रेड. मैं उसको एक नंबर स्टॉक हाई प्रोबेबिलिटी जो एकदम लो इन द कर्व है, सबको मैंने यहां पे लगा दिया, है ना? इसका मतलब मैं नेक्स्ट डे इसको कंटिन्यूअस मॉनिटर करूंगा. ओके, सो दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव डन. नाउ वंस आई हैव, इफ द स्टॉक इज okay, so now a stock could be, stock price can be in 3 places: either low in the curve, low, second is high, third is middle or equilibrium. Okay, ये either of the zone में होगा. So ये कौन सा टाइम फ्रेम में हम लोग ने ऑब्जर्व किया है ये कर्विंग? कैन यू गाइस गो अहेड एंड टाइप इन द चैट बॉक्स अगेन. कौन सा टाइम फ्रेम में आप ये कर्विंग आइडेंटिफाई किए हो? इन विच टाइम फ्रेम? Is it getting too technical? Yes, bigger? No. Highest time frame, जो bigger time frame है, larger time frame, LTF, right? So in a way daily time frame में, if you're a swing trader, so LTF में larger time frame में इसको identify किया है. Correct? So guys, are you all with me? Can you give me a quick check in the chat box? I think it's a time to take some feedback. If somebody got confused, come on, go ahead and type in the chat box. Okay, is it clear to all of you? Please type yes if it is clear to all of you. बहुत कम लोगों ने यस यस लिखा है, हेजिटेट कर रहे हैं. You guys are hesitating to write yes, huh? Okay, thank you. So I hope it is clear now, right? Okay. So Amit, you are doing a great job. Thank you. At least कभी कभी, huh? Okay, great. चलो, very nice. Okay, ठीक है. तो हम लोग ने ये जो ऑब्जर्व किए हैं ना, what we have done it in a larger time frame. अभी हम लोग को काम पे क्या लाना है? इंटरमीडिएट टाइम फ्रेम एंड द ट्रेडिंग टाइम फ्रेम, इस दोनों को काम पे लाना है ना? नाउ इफ द लो का मतलब क्या है? प्राइस इज इधर इन द डिमांड जोन और क्लोज टू द डिमांड जोन. हाई का मतलब क्या है? प्राइस इज इधर इन द सप्लाई जोन और नियर द सप्लाई जोन. एंड मिडिल का मतलब क्या है? समवेयर इन बिटवीन. ये तो हम लोग को समझ में आ गया. नाउ इफ द प्राइस इज वेरी क्लोज टू द डिमांड जोन और इन द डिमांड जोन, हम लोग इंटरमीडिएट टाइम फ्रेम को बाईपास कर देंगे. आईटीएफ को बाईपास करके सीधा स्मॉल ट्रेडिंग टाइम फ्रेम में चला जाएंगे. ठीक है? क्योंकि नाउ यहां से इटसेल्फ आवर प्रोबेबिलिटी इज वेरी हाई, है ना? लार्जर टाइम फ्रेम इटसेल्फ इज सेइंग दैट द प्रोबेबिलिटी इज वेरी हाई, इट्स ऑलरेडी इन द डिमांड जोन, है ना? सो इसका मतलब हम लोग ट्रेडिंग टाइम फ्रेम में क्या, कौन सा टाइम फ्रेम इज अ ट्रेडिंग टाइम फ्रेम? 15 मिनट्स इज अ ट्रेडिंग टाइम फ्रेम फॉर स्विंग ट्रेडिंग. यस और नो? सो 15 मिनट. इसका मतलब देखो, when the price reverses, price is so far, why the prices come to the demand zone? Because the stock is in the downtrend. Price नीचे आ रहा था, that is why the prices come to the demand zone. So when the price is in the demand zone, इसका मतलब the stock was in the downtrend, है ना? Now जब रिवर्स होगा प्राइस यहां से, तो ये जो रिवर्सल सिग्नल आपको कहां पहले सबसे ज्यादा फर्स्ट दिखाई देगा? लोएस्ट टाइम फ्रेम में दिखाई देगा. आपको डेली टाइम फ्रेम में दिखाई देने के लिए टाइम लगेगा, लेकिन 15 मिनट्स टाइम फ्रेम में आप तुरंत तुरंत देखोगे, जल्दी देखोगे, फटक से देखोगे, है ना? सो क्योंकि ऑलरेडी बहुत पावरफुल एक डिमांड जोन में आ चुका है, ऑलरेडी वी नो दैट द प्रोबेबिलिटी इज वेरी हाई. द मोमेंट वी सी द फर्स्ट साइन ऑफ रिवर्सल इन द स्मॉलेस्ट टाइम फ्रेम, वी गेट इनटू अ ट्रेड. होप द लॉजिक इज गेटिंग क्लियर टू यू, राइट? यस. नाउ if the price is in the supply zone, इसका मतलब the stock is already in the uptrend, so it is in a daily chart. So when it reverses from here, the first sign of reversal is going to come in a lowest time frame, that is a 15 minutes for a swing trader, है ना? So the moment we see the reversal in the 15-minute chart, we get into the trade. Okay, can we compromise 15 to 5 minutes? Aha. So Raju, when you do that, now this is, see, you are reducing the time frame. Now, what do you mean by 5 minutes? What do you mean by 3 minutes? What do you mean by 15 minutes? Now, lower the time frame, the more sensitive the things become. More whipsaws might be getting, you might be getting more whipsaws. Okay. So I suggest if you're getting into 5 minutes, it means you are basically getting into intraday time frame. So here what we are talking about swing trading. Okay, because our daily 60 minutes and 15 minutes. है ना? So yes, you can get into 5 minutes, but कभी कभी क्या होता है, 5 minutes का सिग्नल फर्स्ट आएगा, सॉरी 5 मिनट का सिग्नल फर्स्ट आएगा बिफोर द 15 मिनट सिग्नल, 5 मिनट का पहले आएगा. सो मेनी टाइम्स 5 मिनट में सिग्नल दे दिया, लेकिन दोबारा नीचे भी आ गया, लेकिन 15 मिनट्स में आपको बाय दिया ही नहीं अभी तक. तो ऐसे रिजल्ट क्या होगा? यू माइट एंड अप इनटू अ रॉन्ग ट्रेड विदाउट गेटिंग द प्रॉपर सिग्नल, ओनली यू गॉट इनटू द ट्रेड. समझ में आ गया? करेक्ट है ना? सो नाउ इफ इट इज इन अ इक्विलिब्रियम जोन, सपोज ये प्राइस इक्विलिब्रियम जोन में है, तो क्या करेंगे हम लोग? इंटरमीडिएट टाइम फ्रेम को यूज करेंगे. We are going to take the trade in the direction of the intermediate trend. Okay, I'll come to it later slightly. So otherwise, सबसे important चीज है, थोड़ा मिस हो जाएगा. So far so good, because now we are talking about demand and supply only. है ना? How to take your trade in the demand and supply zone. Now यहाँ पे हम लोग एक इंडिकेटर यूज करेंगे. इसका नाम क्या है? Bollinger Band. Now, Bollinger Band can increase your probability of success by multifold. Okay. So, Bollinger Band can increase your probability by multifold. What is a Bollinger Band? Okay. What is a Bollinger Band? No, Bollinger Band is, it's a band. Can you see that? There are three lines. It's a band. Okay. Now, it is based on, okay, how many of you know normal distribution? Okay, let me tell you. How many of you know statistics? If you know normal distribution statistics, can you give me a quick check in the chat box? I don't expect that everybody is from statistics, but if you have heard about it, if you have read about it, maybe if you're working job, you might have heard about कि HR हमेशा appraisal का time पे they fit into normal distribution, appraisal curve. है कि नहीं? Okay, Amit says yes. Huh? So you might have heard about normal distribution. Deepak say no. ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, no problem. I'm going to explain it to you. Okay. Now, this is a very, very important theory, normal distribution. Now, what is that? Now, just think about it. Let me give you a very simple example. So, if you have got a pendulum, you got a pendulum. The pendulum is, yes, absolutely, 2 standard deviation, 1 standard deviation, and 3 standard deviation. So, when there's a pendulum, the pendulum swings. And pendulum swings. It goes this side, it goes, pendulum swings. So when the pendulum swings to the extreme, and when the pendulum reaches here, the probability of reversal is high or the probability to go further is high. You don't know, right? कितना जोर से घूम रहा है, कभी कभी तो पूरा एक राउंड भी लगा देते हैं ऊपर से. But when you see a pendulum, and when you see the pendulum moving to the extreme, usually it's not a mathematical this thing. I'm just asking your opinion. The probability of reversal becomes higher, or the probability of continuation become higher. Okay, let me put it this way. Okay, to make the thing simple. Okay, now here is a pendulum. Here is a pendulum. Now the pendulum swings to this place. Now, what is the probability? The probability of going further is high or probability of reversal is high? Okay. At this point, funny, if you have answered your previous, then okay, reversal. Now, at this point, actually, we don't know. We're not very sure. If the force is very strong, it might go further also, or it might reverse also. But the probability is not very high of reversal. Yes, Sheikh says reversal. Funny also says reversal, but the probability is not very high of reversal. है ना? वो आगे भी जा सकता है. Now pendulum और थोड़ा आगे चला गया, यहां पे चला गया. Now the moment pendulum goes here, the probability of reversal increases and the probability of going further decreases. Yes or no? है ना? Now when the pendulum goes even further here, the probability of reversal becomes even higher and probability of continuations become very small. Do you agree with me, guys? Can you give me a quick check? Yes or no? Yes or no? Absolutely. Of course, it depends on the force, right? It is just a observation at this point of time. Kabhi, as we said, it might take a full round also, hai na? But we are talking and it goes further, right? The probability becomes even higher that it is going to reverse. Correct? Same is the case on the other side also. When the pendulum moves to the extreme, the probability of reversal becomes higher than the probability of going further. Okay. So now we need to find out where exactly my probability is the highest that now it is going to reverse. Okay. Now, for that, we are going to use something called normal distribution. Normal distribution curve. What we call bell curve. So, what a bell curve says is that proper, I sabas, proper. Okay. This is how the bell curves. It may not be 100% correct while drawing. Okay. Okay. So, this is how the bell curve looks. Okay. So, when you have got set of data, you put the data in a graph. You get a fitting like this. This is called curve fitting. Okay. Now, let me give you an example. एक room में, there's a classroom. There is a classroom. There are two classrooms. There are two classrooms. दोनों classroom में 100 students हैं. Classroom A and classroom B. 100 student है. Now ये जो 100 student है सबका weight लिया गया है, माप जिसको weight measurement किया गया है. Now classroom A का average weight of all the 100 student is say 60 kg. And classroom B ka average weight of 100 student is also 60 kg. So when you see this, these two numbers you have got. When you got the average number, can you say that classroom A and B में exactly same weight का students है? Can you say that? Can you say that? Yes or no? Go ahead and type in the chat box. No. No. Okay, go ahead and type in the chat box, guys. Everybody, please feel free. Go ahead, type in the chat box. है ना? The answer is no. क्योंकि ये क्लासरूम में ये हो सकता है कि some students are say 100 kilo, some students are say 40 kilo, some students are say, you know, but ये student, ये classroom में most of the students are somebody is 61, somebody is 59, somebody is, you know, 55, somebody is 65. But in this classroom में somebody is 120, somebody is 25, है ना? But average weight is 60 kilo in both the classes. Okay. Now, no doubt, the mean gives us an idea. The average number that is 60 kilo, that gives an idea. But it does not tell us precisely what kind of students are dispersion. This is what is called dispersion of data. Now, this is measured by standard deviation. If the standard deviation is high, the dispersion of data is high. If the standard deviation is low, it means the dispersion of data is low. Are you getting my point? Right? So whenever you have got a data, so you have got one is a mean, that is average, and one is a standard deviation, that is called dispersion. Right? That is called dispersion. These two numbers are very important. Now, हम लोग क्या करेंगे? Mean distribution में we are going to place the normal distribution says that when you, this is the mean, so this is the price data. The price is also like a weight. You can measure the mean very easily. So normal distribution says when you add one distribution to the mean, add one distribution to the mean and you subtract one standard deviation from the mean, you get a range. You get a range. Right? Now, if you add two standard deviation to the mean, and if you deduct two standard deviation to the mean, you get a bigger range. Right? If you add three standard deviation to the mean, and if you deduct, add three standard deviation to the mean and deduct three standard deviation to the mean, you get an even bigger range. Right? So what a normal distribution says, if the, what is the probability that the price is or the data is going to be within one and plus minus one standard deviation? What is the probability? It says 68% probability. Right? Now, what is the probability that the data is going to be within plus minus two standard deviation? It is 95% probability. What is the probability the data is going to be plus minus three standard deviation? It is a 99% probability. Are you getting my point, guys? Is it clear to you so far? Can you give me a quick check? Yes. Okay, Rinku. What about others? Can you give me a quick check? Right? Okay. Clear? Clear, clear, clear. Type fatafat. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So more or less clear. है ना? So now, when we say, when you add two standard deviation, what is the probability that the price or data is going to be within plus minus two standard deviation? 95%. What is the probability that the data is going to be outside two standard deviation? Can you guys go ahead and write in the chat box? What is the probability that data is going to be outside the plus minus two standard deviation range? Okay. Okay, okay, come on, come on. If there's a 95% probability that data is going to be within plus minus two standard deviation, what is the probability that data is going to be outside plus minus two standard deviation? Come on, guys. 5%. है ना? 5%. So it means okay, so somebody is saying it is too much mathematical, right? All forgot now. Okay, no problem. So it is application. It's very interesting. You will be amazed when I am going to show you the application. Okay, you'll be literally you'll be shocked. Okay, when I see it practically, when I show it to you practically. Okay, so यहाँ पे ना conceptual clarity is very important because it is going to give you confidence. Otherwise, you are not going to gain the confidence if you're conceptually not clear. So now, if we say that 99% probability that the data is going to be within plus minus three standard deviation, what is the probability that it is going to be outside three standard deviation, guys? Less than 1%. है ना? Less than 1%. Okay? So all of you understood that. Now let's go and use it in the real chart. हम लोग जाके अभी रियल चार्ट में यूज करेंगे. Just a sec. मैं मिनिमाइज कर देता हूं उसको, मिनिमाइज करके हम लोग चार्ट में जाते हैं। इसको यहां पे लेके आता हूं। ओके, इसको यहां पे लेके आता हूं, इसको कोई, कहा गया निफ्टी, बैंक निफ्टी और निफ्टी। चलो, कोई इंडिविजुअल स्टॉक लेने से ज्यादा अच्छा होगा, वॉलेटिलिटी ज्यादा है। क्लियर। ओके, राइट। So now what we are going to do is we are going to use a Bollinger Band. Can you see that? Now, the moment we say the Bollinger Band, that mean, this is what is called 20 period mean. We always take a 20 period mean. Okay. Why 20 period mean? Because in a month, there are 20 trading days usually. So we are going to take a 20. Now, how much standard deviation you want to take? Either you can take 2 or 3. Usually it is 2. Right. Now, band on the top, let's make it colorful so that it is easy to identify. Okay. Can you see that now? So now, if you see it here, if you see it here, if you look at it here. So this is where whenever you see the price is moving, this is a 2 standard, this is a plus 2 standard, 2 standard deviation line. This is a mean line. And this is minus 2 standard deviation line. Okay. So this is how it is. Now, if you look at it, it keeps on expanding and contracting. Sometimes it becomes very narrow. Sometimes it becomes very wide. Sometimes it becomes very wide. Sometimes it becomes very narrow. है ना? So it contracts and expands, contracts and expands. So when it depends on the standard deviation. Standard deviation depends on the volatility. When the volatility increases, standard deviation increases and the channel expands. Okay. Now, whenever the price goes beyond this upper standard deviation line, the probability of reversal becomes higher. Whenever it goes beyond the 2 standard deviation line, the immediate probability of reversal becomes higher. Whenever you see the price gone beyond, the reversal probability goes up. Can you see that? The moment price goes beyond, the probability of reversal goes. Now it becomes very high. Okay. So now if we make the whole standard deviation even more higher, right? Say 3. Can you see that? Very rarely the price has ever gone beyond 3 standard deviation. Have you noticed it? Have you noticed this? Very rarely the price has gone beyond 3 standard deviation. All the time it is within the channel only. If you notice it, all the time it is within the channel only. Only in very few occasions the price has gone beyond 2 standard deviation. One we can see here, right? Or where else? It is still inside. This is where it has touched, right? It is where टाइमिंग के लिए बाहर आ गया था. This is where, है ना? So it means almost 100%. बोलना नहीं चाहिए. There is nothing called 100%. But the moment price goes beyond 3 standard deviation, there is almost very high degree of probability that the price is going to reverse. Do you agree with me, guys? Can you give me a quick check in the chat box? Right? Very high degree of probability that the price is going to reverse. Now, let's try to see some other stocks. Nifty. Okay, again. Very rarely, this is a Nifty. Most of the time, it is within the range. Very rarely, the price has gone beyond the 3 standard deviation mark. One mark we can say here. Right? और कहाँ पे होगा? यहाँ पे देखिए बहुत नीचे आ गया था एक ही बार में. यहाँ पे आया था, एकदम नीचे तक आया था. यहाँ पे आया था नीचे तक. है ना? ऊपर में क्लोज तो यहाँ पे आया था. क्लोज में यहाँ पे आया था. Okay? So the moment it goes out of the channel, it means the probability is extremely high that it is going to reverse. है ना? So now usually what we do is that we use 2 standard deviation because it's a very rare phenomena. That 3 standard deviation का बाहर जाएगा. I'm just showing it to you to show you the probability. Okay? But we use basically 2 standard deviation. Okay? नाउ इसको हम लोग कैसे यूज करेंगे? इसको हम लोग यूज करेंगे विथ कॉम्बिनेशन. इसको हम लोग कैसे यूज करेंगे? वी आर गोइंग टू यूज इट इन कॉम्बिनेशन विथ डिमांड एंड सप्लाई जोन. ओके, सो नाउ हियर यू सी, आपने देखा, these are the places, these are all 2 standard, these are the places price has gone beyond 2 standard minus 2 standard deviation, minus 2 standard deviation, minus 2 standard deviation, plus 2 standard deviation, है ना? These are the combination. Okay. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to use it, this is a completely, we are going to use it in combination of demand and supply. Okay. We are going to use it. Just a sec. We are going to use it in combination of demand and supply. Now, this is where the demand zone is already marked. This is my demand zone. This is my demand zone. है ना? Now, when price comes and touches the demand zone, can you see that? Here, price come and touch the demand zone. But when it touched the demand zone, it gone out of the Bollinger Band also, lower band. Can you see that? Can you just confirm me in the chat box if you can see it? Yes, it has gone. So this is one of the base trade. Okay. So when the price now, price touching the demand zone, but at the same time, prices move out of the Bollinger Band. This is a very good trade, high probability trade. Now, similarly here, this is a supply zone. See, this is a rally. This is the base candle. This is the base candle and this is the drop. So, हम लोग ने क्या किया? ये supply zone को mark कर दिया. Price came and touched the supply zone here. When price came and touched the supply zone, it is not crossed the Bollinger Band, but it is already at the extreme of the band. So, the probability of reversal becomes very high. Okay, so we are using both in combination. Correct? Now, let's go and see in the real chart as well. है ना? Real chart में भी हम लोग जाके देखते हैं किस तरीके से हम लोग उसको डिफाइन करेंगे. कोई भी स्टॉक में, इन्फोसिस, लेट्स टेक इन्फोसिस. सर आईटी स्टॉक्स गिर गए हैं. अभी देखिए, अभी आईटी स्टॉक्स में क्या देखोगे आप? आईटी स्टॉक्स में आप देखोगे आपका बॉलिंजर बैंड इज नैरोइंग डाउन, है ना? Why? Because the volatility, it's already the stock is moving sideways. All the IT sectors, even IT index is also moving sideways. So where do you see a zone? So one of the very good zone is there, but this has already been used. So I see a very good zone here. Okay. So if tomorrow or some days suddenly price drops to the zone here, right? It is already in the demand zone, price drops here. Is it going to be a good buying opportunity for me? Yes or no? Hannah, it is going to be a very good buying opportunity for me. But when the price comes to this zone, I need to ensure that it is at the extreme of the Bollinger Band or cross the Bollinger Band. Hannah, now let's take some other example. Let's think steel authority. All are very, very okay. Now, if you can see it, here also the same sequence. You might have seen here, here it has gone beyond us and come back. Hannah. So price gone beyond the Bollinger Band. I need to ensure where is my supply zone. Okay. So this supply zone is already being respected. So I want to take a very simple example to explain it in a very, very simple way. Okay. Easy to explain kind of an example. Okay. Okay. These are all, it's all our prices are moving in a narrow range nowadays. Okay. HPCL. Fantastic. Fantastic. Now see, HPCL. Where is my zone? I've got a fantastic zone here. This is a zone. Okay. Sek HDFC. Okay. Sek, I think you didn't attend a session yesterday. Hannah. So this is a zone. I need to see when the price comes to the zone, if it is outside the band, then this is a very good opportunity for me. Okay. Somebody's HDFC Bank, HDFC Bank. Okay. So we talked about HDFC Bank. Let's remove all the things. Okay. Okay. HDFC Bank, right? So currently HDFC Bank is moving in a tight range. Can you see that? It's in a very tight range. So where is my, this is again a very congested zone, right? This has already been tested, retested, but this is a lower end of a channel kind of a. This is upper end of the channel. This is lots of supports are there. Okay. So, okay. This is lots of supports are there. So eventually we are expecting that maybe in a day or two, it might go in the upper side. Candle showing 1 hour. No, this is a daily 1 day candle. Okay. Right. So now let's very quickly go back to our slides and show the multiple time frame as well, because this is another aspect. So you now know the concept, right? You now know the concept. So now what we are going to do is, okay, second important concept what we are going to use is, along with the zone, we may use another, we might use, okay, we might use another indicator which may be, which could be, RSI, it could be MACD, moving average convergence, divergence, something like that. So let's talk about that as well very quickly. Now, okay, let's talk about, let's remove this part and let's use, I know, I'm sure many of you are using already MACD. I'm using a MACD, plain MACD, okay? The simple standard MACD, moving average convergence divergence. So now, if I'm a swing trader, I'm going to use the MACD in the lowest time frame. So what is my time frame? 15 minutes time frame. Okay. Where am I going to use the MACD? I'm going to use the MACD in a 15 minutes time frame. If I'm a swing trader, you remember what we said? If you're a swing trader, your higher time frame is daily, intermediate time frame is 60 minutes, and trading time frame is 15 minutes. Okay, so this is a 15-minute chart. Now, how the MACD gives a signal? MACD, basically, this is what? This is a two line. How many of you know moving average convergence, divergence? Can you give me a quick check in the chat box? So MACD में moving average convergence divergence में very simply I'm going to use the application. There are two lines. One is called a trigger line, one is called a MACD line. This black line is called MACD line or MACD line, or this red line is called trigger line. Trigger line. Okay. So now when the MACD line crosses the trigger line from below, this is what is called a buy signal. Okay. When the MACD line crosses the trigger line from above, this is a sell signal. Okay. Now here, what signal is this? It's a sell signal. Because the MACD line crosses the trigger line from above. This is a sell signal. Now, this is a buy signal. Okay. I'm sure you got it now. K and D line. Okay. Yes. K and D line. Okay. You can also say K and D line. Perfect. So now what you are going to do is when the price is already in the demand zone. So in a higher time frame, daily chart, price is in the demand zone. Okay. The moment in the 15-minute chart, MACD gives you buy signal, what you can do? You can go and buy. Right? Now, if the daily may price is in the supply zone, the moment MACD 15-minute chart gives you a sell signal, what you are going to do? You are going to sell. Okay. So this is how we can use it. So where we are selling in the supply zone. Where you are buying in the demand zone. Where is the demand zone? On a daily chart. But exactly when we are doing the trade, when the 15-minute chart is giving me the buy signal, MACD. Now, when this daily demand zone, when the prices come to the demand zone, and price is also below the 2 standard deviation Bollinger Band, how many probabilities are there in your favor? 1, number already in the demand zone. Number 2, Bollinger Band. Number 3, 15-minute chart में MACD giving you a buy signal. This is how we generate a high probability trade. Is the point clear to you guys? How we do multiple time frame analysis, guys? Can you give me a quick check? Right? I hope I could explain the points clearly to you. Okay, you can use View app also. MACD is with 15 minutes. Yes, absolutely. You can use it. See, okay, Vimrao is asking, is 15 minute is the best time frame to use the MACD? See, it all depends what time frame you are trading. Now let's put it this way. Okay, let's put it this way. If you're an investor, if you're a long-term investor, what is your long-term time frame? LTF, ITF, and TTF. What is your LTF? If you're an investor, monthly. है कि नहीं? What is your ITF? Weekly. What is your TTF? Daily. Correct? Okay. So where we are going to start? LTF. That is monthly. If you are an investor, you are going to start with a monthly chart. So how am I going to do it? I'm going to convert all the charts into a monthly chart. Okay. And I will see where is my demand zone. Right? So in this particular case, where is my demand zone? My demand zone is somewhere here. Okay. My demand zone, my network is disconnecting. Okay. It is here. So it is quite far away. So I'm going to buy, if you're an investor, I'm going to buy the stock which is in a Bank of India. Let's go Bank of India. This stock has been falling for quite some. Okay. Now I'm going to go to a monthly chart. See, this is a stock which has been, yeah. Okay. Now, for example, I'm just giving you for example's sake. Okay. So it has already, so where is my demand zone? This itself is, it's already moving out from the demand zone in a monthly chart. Okay. Now, I want to take some stock which has moved out in a monthly chart. So here, okay, correct. Okay. So this is a stock called Sundaram Fasteners. This is a stock called Sundaram Fasteners. Okay. Now, let's say this is a zone. Rally, base, rally. The stock was, now see, this is the month. This is the month. In April, it came and touched the zone. Okay. Let's talk about April. This has come and touched the zone. So what we are going to do is, here I want to buy, I am going to go to a daily chart now, lowest time frame. And I'm going to see in the month of April, May, this is where exactly it gave me a buy signal. Can you see that? This is where my MACD in the month of April has given me a buy signal here in a daily time frame. Okay. So this is where exactly I can get into the trade now. Okay. If I'm an investor, where am I going to buy? I'm going to buy in the monthly demand zone, but my entry is going to be based on a daily time frame when the MACD is giving me the buy signal. Okay. Now, this situation can be very clearly seen after a prolonged downtrend in the market. Okay. When the market is already in uptrend, you will not see it very much. But when the market is in a downtrend, you will see it very, very clearly. Okay. Now, for example, I just want to show you some good examples. Okay. All stocks are moving sideways most of the time. Okay. I want to find some examples here. Moving very sidely. Okay. Now, this is a monthly zone. For example, let's say this is an Axis Bank of India. This is a monthly zone. So where is one of my monthly zone is? One of the monthly zone is here. Can you see that? Drop. This is a tiny little base candle. And then we have seen 2 candle rally. So I'm going to mark my zone. This is my homework. Okay. I have marked my zone. So if Axis Bank comes to this particular zone, right? And then I'm going to go to a daily time frame and then see when price comes here and I get a buy signal from my daily chart. The moment I get the buy signal from the daily chart, I'm going to go and enter into a trade. Okay. Okay. BEL. I think the BEL is a beautiful example. I think in the month of April, it has got a fantastic Bharat electron. Oh. Okay. So it has given actually breakout in the month of April, This is the zone. It's a very come close to the zone. This is a very good zone. It didn't come to the zone only. It was on a downward consolidation downward. If you look at, weekly, many times, kaha gaya? Fine. It's very beautifully consolidating on a downside here actually. And again, as I tell you, so here you will see in a monthly chart. Okay. Okay. Can you see that? This is where it's came very close to your weekly demand zone, right? It came to the weekly demand zone, and from there it has bounced back. So if you had looked at the weekly demand zone at MACD, had you consulted weekly MACD, your buy signal came a little bit late here. But if you had consulted your daily time frame at that point of time, it came pretty soon, right? Exactly right here. You got your buy signal here. You got your buy signal here. Right at this point, you got your buy signal in BEL. Okay. So guys, again, it is not a, let me tell you, it's not a perfect science. There are lots of practice. There are lots of error. There are lots of, again, you cannot 100%, textbook kind of a situation is not going to come all the time. So what you are going to see is many times you are going to see very close to textbook kind of a situation, right? So let me, okay, yahan pe hai. Okay. I hope I could explain mota moti the concept of time frame to you. Is it clear to you? Can you guys give me a quick check in the chat box? Mota moti se, is it clear to you? It is a very practical concept. You have to use it day in and day out. Okay. But logic is clear, right? Logic is clear to you. Now, yahan pe dekho, yahan pe, let's create this logic here. Okay. How I did. Okay. How I do it. Now, this is for intraday trading. So what is the intraday trading time frame? 60 minutes. It could be 30 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes I have taken, or 5 minutes. This is a intraday or scalping ke liye. So you start larger time frame, that is 60 minutes. What do you do first? Mark the demand and supply area. Now, if the price is in the demand area, look for long trade. If the price is in the supply area, look for short trade. We discussed it already. Clear? If the price is in between demand and supply, that is when we said, down in the curve, up in the curve, and equilibrium. So if the price is between demand and supply, in between, then what you are going to do, you go for intermediate this thing. Okay. Now, if the price is in the demand zone or a supply zone, if the price is in the demand zone or a supply zone, you straightway go to the lowest time frame, right? So in this case, the lowest time frame is 5 minutes. Wait for MACD. If buy in MACD, you can use super trend. You can use RSI to give buy signal, right, in the lowest time frame and get into the long trade. Now, if the price is in the supply zone, sell if the MACD super trend RSI gives you a sell signal. Correct? Use super trend for the stop loss. Now, if the price is in between demand and supply zone, go to the intermediate time frame, that is a 15 minutes time frame. Go to the intermediate time frame, that is 15 minutes time frame. Check the trend. If the trend is up, look for buying opportunity. If the trend is down, look for selling opportunity, right? So in the intermediate, when the price is in between the zone, you can do both long trade and a short trade. But again, the higher probability trade you are going to get only in the demand zone and the supply zone. That is the best place to trade, guys. Okay. So that is exactly what. Now, this is what is the decision-making matrix. We call it decision-making matrix. So if the price is up, if the trend is up, buy if the MACD super trend RSI gives you buy signal in the 5 minutes time frame. Okay. Sell if MACD RSI or super trend gives you sell signal in the 5 minutes time frame. Right? So you have to derive, you have to go along with the trend of the intermediate time frame. Cool. So this is what is called sequencing. And let me tell you, you can completely automate this whole process also, right? If you use algo, if you use automated trading, you can completely automate the entire process. So in that case, your decision making, you don't have to manually take decision. Your system takes the trade for you. But this can be completely automated, right? So guys, can you give me a quick chat in the chat box? Is it so far so good? Okay. Let me check what is the time now. Okay, time is exactly almost 6 o'clock. So should we finish it here? Should we finish it here? At least you now know. So very quickly what we have learned. What about option trading? So option trading will be coming up very soon. Okay. I wanted to talk about, actually, I don't have time now to cover the option trading. So I had now very clearly, let me take you, since you have asked me about the option trading. Let's talk about this one. Okay, I'm going to tell you something about option trading. Okay, where is it? I have taken out my slide also. Actually, I wanted to cover a very important concept today that is called IVP. Okay, that is implied volatility percentile. Now, option trading, this is one of the most important concept. Okay, what is called IVP, implied volatility percentile. Now, currently, if you look at currently, where is the implied volatility? Is it high or low? Can you tell me? Nowadays, what is the implied volatility in the market? Or what is the volatility in the market? The volatility is absolutely low, right? It is very low. And if you look at, I want to show you something that is what is called implied volatility percentile. Okay. And that is basically clear cut how you can find out, okay, whether the options are cheaper. Okay. I'll just go to, you can go to a site called Opstra, option Opstra. Okay. You go to options, you can go to volatility. Sorry. Where is the volatility? IV chart. Okay. I'm going to go to IV chart. Let me remove this part. Okay. 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 Can you see that? This is the IV. Purple line is IV. Okay. And the purple line is IV. And the green line is historical volatility. Okay. It is falling. IV is falling. And if you look at the line below, can you see? What is it? What is the number that you are seeing? 0.4. 0.4. Now, can you see what is the number you are seeing? In the month of May 2000, what is the point that, what is the number you are saying? 95. Now, the same IVP has come down to what? 0.4. So currently, we are having an extremely low volatile situation, right? So when the volatility is very low, what happens? The premium also becomes very low. It means the market is expecting very low movement. Okay, we'll be announcing, Alok, we'll be announcing it separately, okay, towards the end of this month. है ना? नाउ यहां पे हम लोग कैसे यूज करेंगे? नाउ हम लोग ने ऑलरेडी डिसीजन मेकिंग मैट्रिक्स यूज कर लिया है टेक्निकल चार्ट में. We have already used the decision making matrix. Now suppose if you're an intraday trader, what is your time frame? 5 minutes time frame. So the moment in the 60-minute time frame, the price is in the demand zone. In a 5 minutes time frame, MACD is giving you buy signal, right? That is a time you can go long in a call option. You can buy a call option, right? You can create a bullish strategy. So when you do the bullish strategy, when the price is in the demand zone in a 60-minute chart and a 5-minute chart, you have got a buy signal. So very, very short-term momentum trading perspective, you can go and buy it. You can create a bullish call. So what are the things that you need to look at? First is when you are taking a bullish buy call, always prefer to buy ATM call option. ATM call option का delta 0.5 होता है. Try to buy ATM call option. Do not buy OTM call option, out of the money call option, right? Buy a ATM call option. Okay. Now, this is exactly what we are saying on the daily demand zone. Now, this is from swing trading perspective, right? On a daily demand zone in a 60-minute buy signal, right? So what you are doing is that you are buying a call option with a ATM money call option, right? If you're an intraday trader, you can buy it in a 60-minute demand zone in a 5-minute buy signal. If you're an intraday trader. Hope this point is clear to you. Okay, so there are spreads as well. There are multiple decision-making metrics for options. But what I have done is that I have just same is the case in case of put option as well. So in case of put option, what you are going to do? You are going to buy a put option when you have got a, if you're an intraday trader. If you're an intraday trader. So if the price is in a 60-minute supply zone and 5 minutes MACD sell. So what you can do is that you can buy put. Right? What put you should buy? You should buy ATM put option or near the ATM strike. A little bit one step out of the money chalega, but you should stick to very close contracts. Now this is purely intraday. ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट आपको घर लेके जाना नहीं है. आपको ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट द मोमेंट ओके नाउ जब आप ये कॉल ऑप्शंस खरीदोगे आप कहां पे स्टॉप लॉस लगाओगे और एग्जिट कहां पे करोगे? द मोमेंट 5 मिनट्स मैकडी गिव्स यू ए ऑपोजिट सिग्नल. इट्स अ शॉर्ट सिग्नल, राइट? मैकडी सेल में आपने एंट्री किया, इसका मतलब मैकडी इज फॉलोइंग, मैकडी इज फॉलोइंग. द मोमेंट नीचे से मैकडी गिव्स यू बाय सिग्नल, यू आर गोइंग टू एग्जिट द पुट ऑप्शन दैट यू हैव बॉट. ये पुट ऑप्शन जो आपने खरीदा था, इसको आप एग्जिट कर दोगे द मोमेंट 5 मिनट्स मैकडी गिव्स यू अ बाय सिग्नल, राइट? सो दैट इज व्हाट यू कैन डू इट. Oh yes, Sovik, you can always refer to. But again, let me tell you guys, this is a caution and warning. Trading is not a science. Okay, if you're thinking that trading is a science, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, trading is not a science. Trading is a science plus arts. Okay, it is not a perfect science plus arts. यहाँ पे lots of things आपका experience का साथ आएगा. You cannot 100% say that ये हुआ 100% यही होगा. उसका गलत भी हो सकता है, उल्टा भी हो सकता है. And then what is there to protect you? You got a stop loss. That is a risk management. We spoke about on the Friday, yesterday. Okay. So please understand that this is not a perfect science. यहाँ पे lots of skill is required. Lots of proactive action is required. Lots of active, very fast, swift action is required. Okay. So it's all about probability. You understand that. So even though you get a fantastic signal, you got a demand zone, very powerful demand zone, right? You got 100% powerful demand zone. You got 100% powerful buy signal from the MACD. Still, the trade may not be successful. Still, the trade may not be successful, right? And you need to be mentally ready for that. कभी कभी क्या होता है, लोग सोचते हैं कि हाँ भाई, I have taken the trade in the very strong demand zone. The moment I got a buy signal from my lower time frame, I bought it. So I cannot go wrong. No, you might go wrong. It is a market. You don't know tomorrow what new factors is going to come up and drive the market in one side. You don't know that, right? So mentally, you need to be absolutely flexible. यहाँ पे rigidity का कोई place नहीं है. You should be able to change your opinion. You should be able to change your study. You should be able to change your perception about the market in the fraction of a second. When the underlying factor changes, then only you can become a good trader. If you're somebody who has got a rigid kind of a personality, who takes time to change, then it is very difficult. Right? There is a Trump also. Absolutely. See, it is a very tricky time. That man can come up and say anything literally in the evening. His mood swings in the extreme. Sometimes वो एकदम पूरा cheerful mood में आके कहेगा India is my best friend. I'm going to no tariff for India, zero tariff. Sometimes it's a part of BRICS. India is a champion of BRICS. I'm going to impose 30% tax. You don't know, probably that day what is his mood. You don't know that. That is why it's creating lots of uncertainty. And market does not like uncertainty. And that's what you are seeing, that market is drifting down. Market का patience खत्म हो रहा है धीरे धीरे. पहला first few days you have seen market tightly, थोड़ा patience, अरे hold on, आज शाम को आएगा, आज शाम को आएगा. But आया ही नहीं अभी तक. अभी तो 1 अगस्त हो गया, है ना? So that's how it is. So guys, I hope I could give you some kind of insight into trading, and at least you understood that as a trader you need 4 things: trading system, you need risk management, you need psychology, and a trading plan, right? So do that. हाँ, stop loss कैसे लगता है? When I try to pop up, it comes saying trigger price should be bigger than the. Oh yes, my God, this is a complete different. Stop loss is a completely different mechanism. Do you know the mechanism of stop loss, Mr. Bhimrao? It's a different mechanism altogether, right? Okay, again, see, I don't want to say for the sake of saying it. I want to make you understand absolutely logically and technically. Okay, so what is a function of stop loss? What is a mechanism of stop loss? If you understand that, because in order to understand the mechanism of stop loss, you'll have to understand bid and ask, or how a transaction happens in the market. Okay, it happens on a price time priority basis. That logic you need to understand. So when you understand the order execution logic in the market, you will understand how the stop loss actually take place. So बहुत सारे लोगों का प्रॉब्लम ये होता है कि भाई मैं स्टॉप लॉस लगाया था, प्राइस नीचे चला गया, मेरा स्टॉप लॉस ट्रिगर नहीं हुआ. क्यों? राइट? बिकॉज you need to understand कि what is the stop loss का mechanism है. But we are going to discuss it in the next class. Do join. We'll keep on doing those classes again and again and again. And it's going to come for you absolutely free of cost. You don't need to, just you be there. At least you will keep on learning something. I can assure you. Sure, I can assure you. है ना? Recorded sessions, we'll be uploading these recorded sessions very soon. है ना? And also I request you to please fill the feedback form. I just given a link here. If you can see the link. So all of you, please feel free, give a feedback, because we need to know what you exactly want, right? Their options are given, like you want to learn technical analysis, you want to learn derivative strategies, you want to learn, because now what we are planning is that for technical analysis itself, we are planning for a 6-7 sessions only on the technical analysis, because it's so long. Like if we try to cover it in 2 or 3 days, it become actually doing injustice, because we are not being able to give you complete clarity on every side, all the different angles, how to look at it, how to pros and cons, in order to do that, you need a longer period of time. Okay, so whatever we discussed, we try to give you lots of insight as well. Please, you know, listen to the recordings if you get confused, and do attend our next class. Okay, I can assure you that YouTube, all the sessions will be there in the YouTube. I'm going to ask my marketing team to upload the sessions very soon. Maybe on Monday, you will get it in the YouTube. Okay. So please feel free, go ahead, type in the chat box. Oh, sorry, give us the feedback. Next class is going to be on the 30 and 31st. What is, how many? It's a month of July, right? 31st and 1st is going to be the next session. Okay. So we are going to do it on the momentum investing, momentum trading and momentum investing. Okay. Another very important thing is the momentum. And immediately after that, we are going to come up with option class. Okay. So thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye. Have a good day. I hope, thank you so much, Sovik. Thank you, and everyone, that you attended the session so nicely. And I hope, you enjoyed the session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for submitting your feedback, Sachin. Funny, everybody. Really like this class. You guys are so interactive. You have been asking questions and also appreciating in between time to time. That motivates and inspires. So thank you so much. Bye-bye. See you next time. Okay. Bye-bye.